Interesting question I got asked. British Knights versus LA Gears. Which was the better sneakers, better kicks? Wow, this was a real interesting question. I was on a live stream recently and I decided to kind of like, where would I go with this? Um, I gotta say they both were cool for their time. I mean, people were rocking them, but I think if I'm thinking back in hindsight, LA Gear felt more Hollywood. It felt more like cliquish, cliche. Um, I thought it was more style. I won't remember Millie Jovanovic. Was a model at the time. She did the ad with Michael Jackson for them. I think Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Ali Gear had some people on it, but it felt more like a casual sneaker. It was like something, that was more chic, if you will. So, it hit differently. It was one of those kind of shoes that it seemed to be more hotty toddy. It's a certain type of element of people. I don't think it had the same. I don't know. It didn't have that flair, for its kicks. I don't remember nobody playing ball rocking no LA Gears. I seen them people rocking them for like, maybe for cosmetic purposes, but I don't think they had that kind of, you know, they didn't have that kind of flair for like playing ball. They were, they were happening for a minute, but I don't think they had the kind of, you know, and they still have people who still may have them, flaunt them, but they weren't really like those kind of kicks, though. I mean, they were more casual, you know, like somebody would endorse them, but more kind of, I don't know. They just, I don't know if they hit like that in the general, because that was a different era. And in that era, some stuff was regional where you lived, and some places it didn't really hit. British Knight, on the other hand, British Knights, I remember my homeboys had some British Knights. BKs was big. They were big. Some people was rocking some BKs. I remember playing ball with some cats that was rocking them. And for a minute, they weren't in the Nike Converse conversation, so I'm not gonna say nothing crazy or Adidas. But British Knights, for a moment, had some juice in the streets. For a moment, they had some kick. Because that was an era when sneakers came out. Of course, the Jordans was taking off and all that, but that was the era when people's kicks were, who had fresh kicks, and that was the thing. I mean, that was probably the era where you saw more cats rocking more the sneaker game than they did. That's when the shoes started taking over as far as the dress shoes, if you will. So it's an interesting question because I hadn't even thought about. It's funny how sometimes you get asked questions about stuff that you have to go back in your mind 35 years ago or so, because it's not just like something that you know, you think about, and it really is. It's like a wow. I ain't even thought about those kicks since you may as well say Viewmasters and stuff. I mean, really, since there was a Woolworth or something. I mean, you got to go back. You got to go back when Kmart was booming, you know. So, um, that's a pretty good question. But I think out of LA Gear and British Knights, I think British Knights were the bigger kicks, bigger sneakers on the streets. I thought they had more action. But LA Gear had some nice style. I just think that it was kind of cosmetic, those cosmopolitan. But anyway, let me know which sneaker, if you remember back that far with those two kicks, which ones did you think was more popular and why? Please hit like, subscribe, work on thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands, keep your mind clear. Watch out for nothing. Shit, if you like, stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke, stay free. I'm out one time. Peace.